Thanks for tuning in to the webinar on Moodle. Today I am going to show you how to create an assignment for your students, how to create a discussion board for your students to interact with other students and yourself, how to upload a file from your desktop or whichever computer you're using to access your Moodle. I'm going to show you how to upload an URL or a link for your students to look at resources outside of Moodle, and also how to access your gradebook. Need to access your Moodle account. So if you're on an Apple product, we're going to use Safari. For all others, you can use Mozilla, Firefox, or Internet Explorer. But sometimes Internet Explorer does not work well with Moodle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to access my Moodle account, and Southern's Moodle account is moodle.sus.edu. And then I'm going to log in. Your Moodle login information is first name, period, last name at sus.edu, and your password should be the first 4 digits of your last name and the last 4 digits of your social. If not, you'll have to contact the registrar's office or technology to get access to your Moodle account. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to create an assignment. So we're going to go to dashboard so we can access our courses for the semester. The course I'm going to play with today is going to be, I'll just pick a course. So if you've never input anything on your Moodle account, it'll come up looking like this. Some of you may have 10 topic modules, but you see I have here 4. So I'm not going to do anything with announcement. This is if you want to access, send information to your students. You can click announcements and it'll show up in the announcement section on their Moodle account. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a module for my students, and I'm just going to put some mock information in there so I can show you how to access these things. The first thing you want to do is you want to turn your edit on. So you want to go to this green notebook here and click it so that we have the capabilities of editing. And as you see, you have the little edit pencil come up. So I want to click here because I want to change this topic 1. And what I want to do here is I want to put course documents. I put course documents here for my students, and this is things that they'll need throughout the semester, such as an academic calendar, such as their syllabus, links to their book if we're using an e-text. But this is something that I give my students that is available throughout the entire semester that they may need to reference to periodically. You can set up your course however you like. This semester I've been setting up my courses by chapters, but you can set up your course by chapter, by week, and you can create modules that open and close for your students. So I'm going to go here to course document because the first thing I want to show you is how to upload a file. So on your right hand side in this particular module that I've named course documents, we have add an activity or a resource. I want to click on that. And it's going to give me a list of activities and resource things that I can add to this particular section of my Moodle course. And what I'm going to add is just going to be a file that I have already saved on my desktop. So I'm going to scroll down to the resources section and I'm going to click on file, and then I'm going to click on add. So the file I'm going to add is going to be my course syllabus. So we have to have a name for the document that we're going to upload, and use a name that the students can easily identify. So this is going to be their syllabus, so I'm going to call it course syllabus. If you want to add a description, you can, but for this particular upload, it's not required. I'm going to go down here to select files. I'm going to click on what looks like a piece of paper, and then make sure upload a file is highlighted, and then I'm going to choose a file. Now, when you're downloading things to Moodle, make sure you're using the computer that has the files that you want to upload, or that you have an external hard drive connected to the computer that you're using so that you have access to those files. Otherwise, you will not be able to upload those files. So I am just, for today's purposes, I am just going to select something, and I think I have the academic calendar on here. If not, I'll just select something. So select it and click choose. It's going to take you back to this screen. You can see what I'm about to upload is just called letters of service. And then I'm going to click upload file. So now as you can see, my file has been uploaded. I need to scroll down. I don't do anything with these tabs here because this is just a file that I want my students to have access to all semester long. So this is not needed. So once I identify that my file has been is in the process of being uploaded, I'm just going to press save and return to course. And as you see here, my syllabus has been uploaded under course documents. So that's how you upload a file to Moodle. The next thing I'm going to upload is going to be a link to something outside of Moodle. So if you have like a website you want your students to visit, or if you're using My Math Lab, you can link your Pearson math account to this and they can visit their homework or their class assignments or their quizzes just by you uploading a link. So we're going to go and find a URL so we can upload it. So again, I'm going to go here to add an activity or a resource. I'm going to scroll down to resources and I'm going to click URL and then add. So now this is where it's asking me what am I adding. So let's go and find a website that we want to add. So say I want my students to visit the Southern University library website. So I'm going to go to Southern University. Let's go to students. I'm going to click on library. So say the assignment is to just visit the library's homepage and screenshot it. So this is the library's homepage. I'm going to click here on my taskbar so I can access the URL that will lead me directly to this page. So once you click on it, you want to copy it. Then I'm going to return back to my Moodle page. I'm going to name this library homepage. Click here where it says external URL, and then I'm going to paste it. So that's my URL. If you want to, you can add a description, but as you see, it does not have an exclamation mark in red on side of it, so a description is not needed. Again, this is just a reference page for my students, so I'm not going to mess with anything on this left-hand side, and then I'm going to click save and return to course. And here is the link to my library page. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to the university's homepage for the library. Next, what we're going to do is I'm going to start assigning my students an activity. So let's click on add an activity or resource, and I'm going to add an assignment. So I'm going to call this assignment writing sample. Here, you can do this one or two ways. So in the description, you can cut and paste or type in the assignment for the students to create, or you can click on this paper here. And if you have a hard copy of the assignment, you can upload it. So I'm going to do both. So I'm going to add a fake description and say students are required to complete a one-page paper on the Civil War, or titled the Civil War. Excuse my typing errors. So that's simple. Let's say I would want to add the rubrics and the full instructions. I'm going to click on that file, click on upload, make sure it's upload is highlighted, click on choose file. I'm just going to select something. So let's say this is the attachment I need them to see their assignment on, and then I'm going to click upload file. That one's kind of big, so it's going to take a while to upload. right, that took too long. Let me go find something easy to upload. All right, so here I have added an assignment for the students to do, and I've typed it in, typed the instructions. Or I've added a file in which I already have previously have typed up something I may have handed them in class, like a worksheet or something. So once I scroll down, so since I'm doing an assignment for the students, I want to limit my availability for them. So today is the 19th of March, and this is always going to be the default date. Whatever the date is going to be the default date for you to allow submissions. So I can, if I'm doing this assignment and say classes this afternoon, I want to keep it on March 19th, and I want to give my students a week to complete the assignment. You don't have to make any changes here. It says they're allowed to start doing submissions right now, once I make this live, until midnight on March 26th. If you want a cutoff date, you can add a cutoff date. I usually don't add a cutoff date for my assignments. And if you want a reminder for you to grade it, you can put a reminder. If you're diligent about going in and grading your Moodle assignments, don't do a reminder. But sometimes things get away from us, kids, family, so forth. We may forget that we have stuff to grade. You can put a reminder to grade it by. And being that we're about to be off of work for a while, you may want to put a reminder in for you to go in and make sure your assignments are graded. So I'm going to leave this the same, but you can change the date, the month, change the year, which I'm not sure why you would have to do that. And then you can select the time. So if you want your students to be able to sign in and do this assignment by 5 p.m., you can select the time. So I'm going to scroll down and select my submission type. So you have two types of ways your students can submit an assignment. They can type it online. So they can pull up their Moodle, pull up their assignment. It'll give them a big text box, and they can go in and type their assignment. Or they can type it on Word or whatever other format, in PDF format, and they can submit a file. If they submit a file, my recommendation is, if you're not doing any changes like feedback, like English needs to read their work and provide grammatical error changes and so forth on the actual documents that the students send in. But if you're like me and I'm just looking for certain things, I'm looking for the students to answer certain questions I may send out, then I just need to look to see, make sure they have the correct answer. So ask your students when they send you a file submission to send it in PDF form, because it makes it so much easier to grade, and you don't have to keep downloading files, because Moodle will show you the PDF form, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But if they send it to you in a Word document, you'll have to download the Word document in order to access that file. So if you're allowing online text, you can limit the words. So if you only want 250 words submission, you can limit it to however many words you want. If not, do not press the enable button. If you just want them to submit you one file, you can limit how many files they are allowed to upload. 20 is the max. So for those who are submitting documents, so let's say for field experience, where one field experience location may require the students to have an access of maybe 7 or 8 documents, and they have to go out maybe 10 times a semester, so they have 10 stacks of 7, you can give them the allotment of 20 uploads, so they can upload everything into one section. You can limit the type of files, but I don't mess with this, and I don't mess with the site upload limit unless I'm asking my students to send me something. Well, right now it's set for 1 gigabyte, so we're fine. I don't touch any of these. Sometimes if I'm doing my courses in advance, so like right now I'm working on 2 weeks of work, and the second week of work, I don't want my students to have availability to it until we finish the first week of work. You could go in and add restrictions. So if I'm putting everything in today, but we don't go online officially until March 30th, you can select that the students can't have access until any of this stuff until the 30th of March. So you can select those restrictions. And so once I've done the title, brief description, uploaded whatever worksheet I want them to work on or whatever, selected the dates that it's available, Send myself a reminder to grade. Allow them the type of submissions that I'm looking for, which is file or online text. I'm going to click save and return to course. So now the students have a writing sample assignment available, and you see it's available from March 19th, 2020. So they won't be able to see this until later on this afternoon because I didn't change the time. I think I put I think it's the default time, so we didn't change the time. So I've showed you how to upload a file, how to upload a link, how to do an assignment. Now I'm going to show you how to do a discussion. So we're going to go to click add an activity or a resource again, and I'm going to click form and then click add. So this is what the setup for the form looks like. On the form name, we can put discussion 1 or chapter 5 discussion. And here in description, it will be the actual questions that the students need to answer. So this is just my little mock question. So because it's a discussion, you don't want an open, you want an open-ended question. So the first question I ask my students are, what are the 3 types of multicultural assessments discussed in chapter 5? After they answer those 3 questions, there's no room for discussion. So you want to make sure that in your form, you're asking them a discussion question. So that would allow them to piggyback and go back and forth with students and with yourself, because it's the form is supposed to be like a conversation. So I have a closed-end question that's going to ask them to type in just 3 types of assessment, and then I elaborate or make sure that my question leads to a discussion. So off the top, I'm just going to put all right, so this will allow my students to start discussing ways to incorporate. And then general discussion rules is the students post their first comment by a certain day, like on a Wednesday by 5 p.m. and they have to respond to 2 other students by 11:59 on Sunday. It just depends on how you set up your discussions for your particular class. The form type, you're going to keep the form type as standard form for general use right now. We don't have to go into any other types of form. You can restrict the access again. I'm not going to go through all these. You can restrict the attachment and the word count. If need be, you can restrict access to whenever you want your students to have access or not have access to it. You can change the grading. But for this purposes, just post the question, post the form name, save and return to course. So now your students have access to the syllabus, a link to the SUBR library's homepage. They have a writing sample homework assignment out there that's about to go live in a little bit. And then they have their discussion question. So now I'm going to take you to where you can see your gradebook. And so our students have one assignment out there, which is called the writing sample. And I need to see this and what it looks like in the grade book, because this is something that the students are actually going to be graded on. So at the top of your page, you have these 4 buttons, and I want to click on this orange settings button, which is called course management. Under course sections course settings is going to have my gradebook set up. Or you can go here to gradebook, either or. So I'm going to go to gradebook setup because I'm going to show you something that I do to my gradebooks. So the only assignment that I have out here right now is the writing sample assignment, which is their only graded assignment. If you want to add discussions in for grades, you can do it here, or you can go back to the other page. So I just clicked on add grade item, and I'm going to put discussion chapter 5. I'm going to scale it. And something easy you can do is pass or fail. Either they contribute or they don't. You can give it a value. And so it won't look at the pass or fail. And you can give them a maximum grade of, let's say, 10 points. And then click Save Changes. It's going to take me back to the grade book. And you see I've added a discussion question into their assignments. So this is how you look at the grade book. So I'm going to take you back home. I'm going to click on dashboard and go back in my classes and make sure everything is still in there. So here we go, course syllabus, homepage, link to the library, writing sample assignment, and a discussion question. So those are the basics of using Moodle. I'm going to post my information if you need additional help. My email address is Tanya_Rose@subr.edu.